Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I made this doll. Her head is a styling head, Moxie Girl styling head, and her body is a ball jointed, actually it is called a ball jointed BJD body, but I got it on AliExpress. So I'm going to show you how I put together this doll, and then I'll show you all the other dolls that I got from AliExpress. So guys, we're in the workroom right now, and I want to show you this. I just got this from AliExpress. This is one of those plastic jointed dolls that they're calling a BJD. Now, you guys know I collect BJDs, and BJDs are usually made of resin, but this one is all plastic. And you know what, guys? I'm not disappointed. Let's take a look at her. Completely jointed. And take a look at the joints. You're not going to believe this. I paid $15 shipped for this doll. It has this knob here that you can fashion a head to. You could have gotten them with heads and stuff, but when I saw this doll, this is what I was thinking. I was going to use this body for this styling head. This styling head looks like a Moxie Girl. It is made by MGA Entertainment, the same company that makes Bratz dolls and Moxie Girls. And that's what this is. This is a smaller one, and the skin tone is very similar. Take a look at this, guys. I think if I think if I put this on here, it would look great, but I'm not sure. I've never done this before. This is what this connection looks like. So what I'm going to try to do is to take this head off this shoulder plate here. I'm going to try to grasp this square piece with my pliers and take it apart. Just basically try to unscrew it and see if that goes anywhere. I'm not sure because I've never done this before. So I'm just going to keep turning. And if you look, it looks like it's loosening up. So I'm just going to keep turning and see what happens. Oh wow. It feels like it's getting a lot looser. So let me see if I pull a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to continue to turn this. So I got the head off finally, and I fixed the hair to get it out of my way because I didn't want to have to do the hair when it's connected to the body because I'm not sure how hard I can push. So the next thing I have to do is secure this to the neck. But as you guys can see, let me put her down here so you guys can see, the neck hole is smaller and this is way bigger, because this is the kind of doll head that would go on this type of body. But as you can see, this doesn't match. I have bought other dolls that match this skin tone, but for this body, this was the best match that I can find. So what I'm trying to do now is make this hole smaller so I can attach it to this head. So it would be like that. It would be a little big, but I think it's great. So I'm going to use this. I just got this in the mail. This is Apoxie Sculpt. And once you use this and attach it to the head, it is very, very hard. And it should stay on this doll for a while. The doll will not be able to turn its head from side to side, but that's fine. I'm just going to try to position it so it faces straight on front. Now, before I use Apoxie Sculpt, I always wear gloves because it is a resin, it is toxic. Some people don't use gloves, but I always do. But you guys, here it is, a close-up, so you guys can, if you want to buy some, you can look it up. It's permanent, self-hardening, and waterproof. Hey, 3 beautiful words right there. And I'm just going to put on my gloves and get to work. The first thing I want to do is build a base to have for the epoxy to stick to. What I'm going to do is actually fill this with hot glue and cardboard just right here, not too deep in here. And just make a base to try to mimic this hole here so that the head can somehow be supported before I apply the epoxy. So what I did was I cut pieces of cardboard and then I hot glued it around this opening here just to leave enough to secure the head because it went too deep if I just let the hole go. So now I think you just keep building it up. Let me just put it up close so you can see. I just kept building up cardboard all around here. And then this goes like that. You see, guys? Now, see that gap around it? That's what I'm going to use the Apoxie Sculpt to hold. So I'm going to hot glue this down. So let me get my hot glue gun and be very generous with this glue. So I'm going to be very, very generous with the hot glue. So I filled it all up in there. That's a lot of hot glue in there. So now you secure it to the head and just hold onto it till it dries. See, yeah. So I'm just going to hold it like that because I think that looks great. I can just leave it like that, but I want to close the gap. As you guys can see, there's a hole there. That's the gap I'm going to close with the epoxy. And by closing the gap with the epoxy, it will also secure it. Look, I let go. So take a look at her. She looks fabulous. We now have a jointed, big, giant BJD Moxie Girl. I'm going to hold on tight to this, wait for the hot glue to dry, and then mix up the epoxy. Okay, so I'm going to remove this and bring in just a small bowl of water. Now with the epoxy, you get part A over here and part B. Now you have to take equal parts and mix it together. We need a very, very tiny amount. I buy these in big tubs because I use a lot of it. And I'll be showing you guys my projects pretty soon. And this is another reason why I wear the black gloves. So you see how small this is? So you make an equal part in the B. So you guys can easily see it. And they're both pretty stable independently, but once you put it together, then you have to really work it. Okay, I think this looks equal. That is very tiny because all I'm doing is sealing the neck joint on the doll. And this, you just have to mix together till they're one color. As you can see, I think you can see one is dark gray and one is whitish. Just mix it together until they're both the same color. So it takes a little bit of kneading. And once it's all mixed together, you do have some working time, but I'm using just a small quantity, so it's not going to be a problem at all. And then you mix it, you keep mixing it, and then I'm going to use it to seal the neck on the doll. See, that looks like it's pretty well kneaded right there. So this is our little mixture here. The colors are uniform and we have to let it rest for 5 minutes. While it's doing that, I'm going to show you our girl here. She looks fabulous. We can actually keep her like this. You can't really see where the neck joint is if she's dressed, but being me, I want to cover this up. You see that gap there, guys? That's the gap I'm going to cover with the epoxy because it would also add strength to the joint. But I think she looks fabulous this way, and the skin tone match is just unbelievable. I'm going to now wait for this to rest for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to use it to seal the holes around the neck joint. Okay, so it has been 5 minutes, and I'm just going to lay her down here and get this epoxy. I'm going to make a little snake, just like that, and then flip her upside down. And now I eyeballed how much to use, and I'm just going to put it right in that gap, guys. You see? Right in the gap, just to close that up. And I'm just going to keep taking a little bit at a time to fill up the gap. And if I need more, I could just mix up more, but I'm hoping I won't need any more because I'm going to just try to smooth it around because I need it to be flush so it doesn't look like she has something growing on her neck. So I'm just going to, this is why I fixed the hair before I started, to keep it out of my way. So guys, she is ready. Her neck is sealed with the epoxy. As you guys can see, it is looking gray, which I probably will have to paint to match. But if she's looking straight at you, you don't even notice it. So I'm not sure I'm going to paint it. But right now, she's going to be sitting, she's going to hang out and just sit on this workbench for 24 hours. You have about 1 to 3 hours to work on the epoxy. So I've worked on it. She's all ready to go. I'm just going to have her sit straight up and just hang out here on the bench till tomorrow. So in the meantime, I'm going to look for an outfit for her. And I'll see you guys back here in 24 hours. So it's 24 hours later. Let's take a look at her. Everything is dry, but it is a gray color. So what I'm going to do is I found paint that is very similar to her skin tone. The acrylic paint that I found is called Island Coral. And here it is. It's very close. And I'm just going to use a little bit of it around her neck. So guys, let me show you more of dolls that have her same body. I got all these 3 dolls from AliExpress, and these 2 over here with the dark hair, they came bald. These are actually my wigs that I put on them. These are the exact same dolls, but see how different they look with the wigs? This is why I got it, because I wanted to use my own wigs and customize them the way I liked. And this is why I got them, because they're all jointed. You guys know how I like the jointed dolls. Now this doll over here with the pink hair, her hair is rooted. It's not a wig. You could either get them with wigs or not. And her body has more points of articulation. The wrists swivel in different ways and her arms swivel over here. That's why they're new, so you guys can see the difference between these 2 dolls. And they're very similar price. Like I mentioned, I got them for about $15 each shipped. It does take a while to get them when you order them from AliExpress. But her hair, like I mentioned, is rooted, and it's not as great quality as the wigs that I have over here. Now, here's another way you can get these dolls. Let me show you this doll here. I got her with the head not attached. You can also get it this way, and then you attach the head yourself. You have to heat this up with a hairdryer and then just plop it on. I will be doing that and showing you. But I also want to show you that her body is very similar to the one with the pink hair. All these points of articulation. So right now, just in case you guys got the one that you have to pop on the head yourself, I'm going to use my trusty hair dryer over here and show you guys how easy it is to pop the head on these kinds of jointed plastic BJDs. Okay, so look at how soft the head is. So you can just pop this on. You just push it in real deep, because you can tell it's soft enough to do that. See, the head is on right now. And then you have another jointed giant BJD. These dolls are the SD size, and this is the size that I like. I usually collect boy BJDs in this size, but I am just so in love with these dolls. I usually also have resin BJDs, but my daughter, the older one, Isabella, is getting into BJDs, and I think these are perfect for her. So I'm going to sit her down with the rest of her friends, and we're going to try to find some clothes for them. So guys, here she goes. She is sitting with her friends, and I'm just going to keep her hair up the way they have it. This is how she came from AliExpress. These dolls, you can easily customize them, and there's just so much you can do. And for the price you paid, just go nuts. Feel free. There's a lot to do here. So right now, I'm going to go through my BJD clothing and get them dressed. I forgot to mention that they also come with these BJD shoes. We have pairs of these, and these are the two types that came with these 4 dolls. They're just a freebie that come with it. I mean, they could get painted and stuff. The color probably doesn't match any BJD clothing that I have. Okay, guys, so here she is. She is dressed, and I've painted her neck. You can see it a little bit, but when she is standing up straight, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to put her in line and show you all the dolls dressed. So guys, here they are all dressed. I am so excited. The only thing I need to do now is find them some shoes, which should be pretty easy to do. The first doll is wearing clothing that I got from Amazon. Here it is. This is supposed to be welly wisher clothes, but the top, if you notice right here, is supposed to be a nightgown for welly wisher. She's using it as a shirt. And this is our generation skirt that has been altered. She is wearing SD BJD girl clothes. She's the only one dressed in BJD clothing. This is an 18-inch doll dress that I altered, and this is an our generation outfit that just works for her. It's just, those are supposed to be leggings, and she's wearing them as capri shorts. So guys, these are all my dolls that I got from AliExpress. The center one, I've added the Moxie Girl styling head to because her skin tone didn't match any of the heads offered by AliExpress. And as I mentioned, I love these dolls. My daughter Isabella is getting into BJDs, and these are perfect for her to play with. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.